Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome to the Oriental Café, a podcast where we will sit at the same table to explore the fascinating worlds of Egyptian dance, personal empowerment, and halas, life. I'm your host, Joana Saahirah, world-renowned Oriental dancer, teacher, choreographer, and author, the creator of the pioneering Joana Saahirah's World and Joana Saahirah's Online Dance School. I will meet you at the Oriental Café every 2 weeks, alone or with a guest, sharing intimate yet universal conversations. In agreement or disagreement, we will create bridges and inspire each other, because the world is only one, and so is our human soul. Ready to fall in love? Yalla bina! Welcome everyone to a new episode of the Oriental Café podcast. This one is particularly special because I have Dr. Geddawi with me. I don't know if he knows how special this is, because there is the obvious reasons why I would invite you into the podcast, and then there is the personal reason. You were one of my first teachers. I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember this? You do.
Of course.
You were so kind and so generous. You received me in your home in Cairo, me and my mom. Do you remember?
Exactly. Yes.
Do you remember?
I remember very well, yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. And when I think of you, I think of those beginnings. I think of the few that really supported my dream and pulled me forward. You were one of them. And you have no idea what that means to me. It's really something that I hold in my heart with gratitude. And you had nothing to gain from it. And you were so kind and so generous with me. So I want to publicly acknowledge that and thank you. And obviously welcome you into the podcast. Now, if anyone doesn't know you, I think that's strange, because anyone involved in Egyptian dance, they know your name at least. You have been one of the most well-known names in Raqs Sharqi, Egyptian Oriental folkloric dance, a well-known teacher, an estimated, respected, and elegant presence in our field for such a long time. And all I want to do now is to know how you are and how you're involved with dance right now. So let's imagine that our listeners don't know your work. What's going on with you right now? What are you doing at this point? And one more time, welcome. Welcome to the podcast. And thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. It's just to say that all of us, we serve the dance because we love it. If you want to know more about me, about my background, etc., I'm a man of coincidence. This means that in my life, in the different direction I went, whether it was sport or dance or medicine, opportunities, Mother Nature opened certain opportunities for me, and I made use of it. So in fact, concerning the dance, because we're going to talk about the dance, I was born a dancer. And when I was a kid, I used to go to the movies, see Fred Astaire, see Jane Kelly, and go home and imitate them. So, and this is a gift from God. I have to be very grateful and very thankful that I had this talent. But this talent went hand in hand with also sport, and with, of course, school, and later with medicine and science.
Okay. What we are going to do exceptionally in this episode is I am going to share a few photographs that you sent me. So everyone who is listening in the audio platforms, what I suggest is that you jump on YouTube and watch what we're about to share in terms of images, because they're going to guide our conversation for a while. And they're very beautiful and, in my opinion, very meaningful pictures of your trajectory of your life. But before I show these images and we walk through them and we talk through them, let me know, when was the moment when you realized dance, specifically Raqs al-Sharqi, was going to be a part of your future? I already understand you are a born dancer, and I totally relate to that. You know, when you have the tendency, the compulsion, the obsession, the fluidity, you are born dancing. You are already dancing when you start to walk. I understand that. But from that natural tendency into a career, a full-time career, there comes a huge distance. When did you realize, okay, this is going to be a part of my professional future? Because as you mentioned, you are a doctor as well. And you started just like Mahmoud Reda, and we are going to talk about Mahmoud in a while, in sports as well. So sports and dance are kind of mixed in your life, I believe, somehow.
In a way, yes.
In a way, in the beginning, probably.
When I was a kid at school, we had a lot of activities at school. So we have like acting group, dancing group, sports group. So I joined mainly the dancing group and many of the sports group and Boy Scouts, etc. And I think I was very, very lucky because there was a lady from the royal family called Mrs. Saida Sutir, and she was a ballerina, but she got very old and she wanted to serve the dance. So she chooses some children, about 8 children from different schools, to teach them classical ballet for free. And I was one of those kids.
Okay.
So this is how it starts, really, with real dance. So I studied classical ballet. I was with her almost 4 years. After that, I got interested in ballroom dancing because at that time it was in, and I started to, all kinds of cha-cha-cha, mambos and tango, and started to enter competition and win. All this encouragement.
Yes.
At the same time, I was doing diving, because also diving, it was amazing. Diving also, first time I saw it in a movie. And I was so fascinated how people do these somersaults and back dives. And I was fascinated, and I want to be a diver.
Okay.
So I went to the sporting club, and I started first to teach myself. So I looked at the kids and I imitated. And then until the time came and I was introduced to a trainer, and he was impressed by my work. And then he continued to teach me until I became part of the Egyptian national team at the age of 13. I was the youngest one at all.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But when was the moment when you felt dance was taking over? Because I believe that in the life of every professional dancer, there is a moment when you feel the dance is becoming serious and it's taking more time and more energy from all other activities. And sometimes, you're still in between and you wonder, okay, am I a doctor? Am I a swimmer? Am I a dancer? Where am I? What is this going to be? And dance takes over. And for most of us, it takes over by its own, by its own legs. When was that moment when you felt that dance was going to take the biggest part of your time, of your energy, of your focus? Was there a moment of transition?
Yeah, this was the moment when I joined the Reda Troupe.
And how did you join? How did you join the Reda Troupe?
We were in the same club, and my older brother was a gymnastic with Mahmoud Reda. They were friends. And this club used to have every Saturday and Sunday a party, dancing party. So like cha-cha-cha, etc. And I was dancing, like I was dancing all the time, as a matter of fact. And Mahmoud Reda was there with his wife. I didn't know him before. And he approached me, asked me about my name. And when I said, Geddawi, you're brother of Geddawi. And he said, if I would like to take classical ballet with him at his new school for free. So, of course, I accepted. And then this was in 57.
Okay. Yeah. The beginnings. Yeah.
And then I took a couple of lessons, and he started to tell me about his idea about creating the Reda Troupe. And of course, without hesitation, I joined.
Were you excited? Were you excited about the concept, the idea?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Very excited,
I can only imagine those beginnings. And of course, what you are describing is, I suppose, Mahmoud starting to train the first group that launched the Reda Troupe, of which you were a part, right? Madame Rakia Hassan was a part of that first group or not?
No. She came in the second generation.
The second. And Aida Noor?
Also second generation.
Second generation.
The first generation were only 6 boys and 6 girls, and Farida and Mahmoud. And we trained for 2 years. In these 2 years, we managed to have about 10 dances only and some operettes. And with this, in 59, we gave our first show.
Where?
At the Azbakiyya Theater in Cairo.
Do you remember the sensation of presenting that first show? Because that's history. It's history.
Yeah, I remember very well. And at that time, because we were not known, so I think Mahmoud, as well as the father of Farida, Professor Hassan Fahmy, I think they thought to get someone who has a big name to help the group to become famous. So we had 2 singers. Karim Mahmoud was a very well-known Egyptian singer, and now I don't remember the lady. But again, 3 girls were also singers, and we started with this show. Of course, at the beginning, the group were not known. We started to also invite. I was at that time at the university, and I was president of the student union. I started also to invite professors from the university to come and see the group. Also, the other did the same, of course, and we became a little bit known until through the student union, I met a German president of the student union in Germany, who was doing his doctorate degree in Egypt, Mr. Christoph Jäger. And I took him with me to see the group. And he was very impressed. And I told him, is it possible to take the troupe to Germany as students? And he thought about it, and then he said yes. So I went to Mahmoud and I told him that we can go to Germany as students. Mahmoud agreed, and this was the first trip of the Reda group outside Egypt.
Abroad. And what do you think was the reason or the reasons for the success of the troupe?
Well, I think the reason success, first, you have different factors. First, people for the first time on their eyes dancing, all those kids from good families and university students. So this was very good factor. Of course, the second factor also was Farida Fahmy. Her father was a professor at the university. Also, the costumes were very decent. And then, most important, and this is the cleverness of Mahmoud and the great talent, that he did these dances, Egyptian dances that everybody can see and realize this is Egyptian. And I think, despite the fact that he, of course, the choreographies were modified to suit the stage,
Of course.
but never lost the Egyptian feeling of the movements.
Exactly. You know, when I hear dancers criticizing the Reda Troupe and Mahmoud Reda, of course, that's very personal because during all the years I performed in Egypt, I was also studying and working with Mahmoud. He became my best friend. He gave me everything, basically changed my life completely. So I owe him more than words can say, really. He was absolutely an angel to me in so many ways. So when people want to offend me, they offend Mahmoud. And they say, oh no, but what the Reda Troupe did is not real funun shabeya, yani. This is something else. And I always have a hard time explaining to them that when you migrate an art form from its original context to the stage, a new language has to be created because the desert is not a stage. A village in Luxor where men are doing the tahtib is not a stage. The way Felahin dance in the cotton fields by the Nile, yani, it's not the same environment of a stage. There must be an adaptation. There must be a new language to bring what is purely Egyptian to the stage in a way that people can appreciate as art. So it is, difficult to explain because I think so often dancers presume you either have what you see in the original context, detail by detail, step by step, yani, or it is not authentic. Yani.
I think this kind of critic is not really acceptable to me because in every kind of folklore, Russian folklore, other folklore, Musiev did the same, Mahmoud Reda did this. You cannot get the dances as done in the street, and usually it's not really dances, and you put it on the stage.
Exactly.
You have to modify it to put it on the stage, to do choreographies and to tell a story maybe, and this is very important. And as a matter of fact, folklore is not only dancing. It's dancing, singing, music, fairy tales, characters like Milaya. There is no Milaya dance. It's the character.
Yes.
So I think people who can criticize only if they are really expert and they know what they are talking.
Yes. And Mahmoud loved the characters. One of the things I remember most about Mahmoud is the way he loved Egyptian people in its variety. Look at this character, look at that character. So it is a theatrical art form. And as you say, and I love what you said, I love how you put it, it's so much more than dance.
Yeah,
it's a culture. It's a history. It's a set of stories, of legends, of politics, also of poetry, of a way of living, different ways of living that he managed to bring to the stage efficiently.
Yeah, this is all what you said. This is the definition of folklore.
Yes, absolutely. And oh my God, I can only imagine how exciting it must have been to be a part of history. You were a part of history, you were just in the beginning. Okay, so what I'm going to suggest is we jump into the incredible images that you sent me, and we are going to comment on them a little bit, okay? See what each image suggests. Of course, I have specific questions regarding each image, but feel welcome to comment as you see fit, okay? Whatever you find interesting. Again, we are going to look at history, guys. It's history, okay? So this is self-explanatory. This is Dr. Geddawi jumping, ready to swim, ready to take over the swimming pool, right?
Yes.
So this was you as a sportsman. And look at the elegance. You already had the elegance of a dancer.
This was as a matter of fact, this picture was taken in Lebanon, jumping from 10 meters and doing a sort like a swan lake followed by 1.5 somersaults. And this was taken by a very famous photographer. I love this photo.
It's beautiful. It's perfect. It looks like a painting. It's
Yeah.
really, really incredible.
This really flying over Lebanon.
In Lebanon, yeah.
Yeah.
And here, of course, you are with Mahmoud.
Yeah, this
Both
is
of you
in 57 when I first got to know Mahmoud.
Okay. Where were you? Do you remember?
This was in the club, in this sporting club.
Gazira?
No, it is called now the Cairo Club, but at that time it has a different name.
Okay. Look at you, so young, both of you. So small. And here, oh my God, you are with Samia Gamal. Tell me more
Yeah.
about this.
This
What
is
was this?
This in 1960. This was a movie with Samia Gamal and Sabah. And this is the Reda Troupe, or part of the Reda Troupe. And Mahmoud did also this choreography for us and for Samia Gamal.
Uh-huh. Did you enjoy working in the movies?
Absolutely.
Fun, no?
Yeah.
A lot of fun. I can
I
imagine.
still
And working with
enjoy,
Samia.
until today, at my age, I enjoy dancing very much. When I dance, I'm a different person.
I know. Yeah, I know. You shine when you dance. You shine. You come to life. Yes, yes. How was working with Samia Gamal? Was she nice?
She's a lovely lady. She's really a lovely lady, a very, very, very nice lady, a loving lady, and she's, what can I say? I mean, beautiful creature.
And elegant too, right? Very elegant.
Very elegant in dancing, and you can feel when she dances that it's inside her. It's, these people are unique. I have met, of course, in my life, most of the dancers, also of the golden era, and also the modern dancers now. And there's one particular thing with this Rak Sharki. It's an individual dance, and every dancer is different and should be different.
Should be.
Yeah.
Yes, should be. Sometimes what I feel is that especially foreigners, I think, because they're afraid of messing up with culture, they're afraid of disrespecting something, they're not so sure. A lot of dancers tend to follow other dancers. They're afraid to become themselves. They're afraid.
Yeah.
They're insecure about it,
Yeah. It was, of course, at the beginning, dancers can imitate, but if they are real dancers, by the time they will develop their own style, their own personality, their own individuality, sensuality, you name it.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, following and mimicry should be a phase, but it should not be there forever. That's the problem. It's that when it becomes your way of doing it and you're never stepping into who you are, you don't go through the phase of mimicry and then you become yourself. That's when it becomes problematic, for sure. And what about this one? I can see Mahmoud, I can see Farid.
Yes, this was the first trip to Germany, as I mentioned to you before. So we were, as you see, we were all young. This second one beside me, this is Mr. Ezabi. I brought him to the group. You remember I told you that we have two singers that they were old people compared to us. And then Mahmoud asked if we can get a young man who can also move with us. So I brought Mr. Ezabi, and he was very, very grateful to me. He became very, very famous in Egypt.
At this time, Ali Ismail was not with the troupe yet.
Not at the beginning.
Okay. Because Mahmoud told me so many stories about Ali Ismail. He loved him so much. And I love Ali Ismail music very much. I got to know Ali Ismail music through Mahmoud. He was the one showing me. And I said, what is going on here? This is special. This is really good Oriental music. Oh my God. But he was not composing for the Reda Troupe from the beginning.
Yeah, I can tell you that also the glory of the Reda Troupe. It was the Reda Troupe and Ali Ismail. This
طبعا.
combination was really the glory of the Reda Troupe.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was about to comment on that. And Mahmoud used to say that, by the way. He used to say that without Ali Ismail, we wouldn't have been what we became. That's very clear. Yeah. It's a gorgeous picture. And you can see how excited and naive and innocent you were all here. It's so nice.
We're very young people, huh?
Yes. What about this young man?
Yeah, this was when I graduated in tropical medicine. And this was at the American University of Beirut in 67.
Why tropical medicine?
Well, listen, first in Egypt, I studied pharmacy.
Yes.
And then I left Egypt in 64 because of political reasons. And I could not work abroad as a pharmacist because, you must have a license, etc. And
Yes.
then dance saved my life. So I worked with the group of Fernando Rego at Casino de Paris, and I did all kinds of Latin American dances and Spanish dances like Jota, Sevillana, Argentinian dance like Contrapunto and Malambo. I did many dances, and I toured with this group until we got to Lebanon. We did a European tour, and we ended up in Lebanon. And then the group has to go to Iran. And I
Okay.
could not go with them to Iran because there was no diplomatic relation between Egypt and Iran. So I stayed in Lebanon, and I had to do something. So I joined the American University, and I did a master's degree in tropical medicine.
But why tropical? It's very specific.
I think this was like an opportunity opened for me.
Okay.
And
I find it very interesting how you see everything as opportunities. I love that.
Yeah. I get opportunity, and I don't miss it.
Yes, but that was an opportunity coming from a difficulty.
Yes, but
مش كده؟
I'm all my life I'm curious. I want to know many things. So I was also fascinated. Tropical medicine, oh my God. And it worked.
That's why you are forever young.
Yeah.
Because you are curious.
Yeah.
You don't lose your curiosity. Yes?
Not at all. Until now. Not at all.
Inshallah, never. Abadan.
I hope so.
Inshallah. What about this one?
Yeah,
Dr. Mo, what is that? What is this Indian guy?
Yeah. When I went to Germany, I was at the University of Munich, and there was many activities, and it happened just another opportunity. And someone came to the university, and they wanted a couple of people to act in a film, an American film, in Austria. So I said, okay. I went to make some money. And my role was Red Indian, Apache. And this film was with Douglas McClure, very famous American actor. And his wife is a real Apache. And when she saw me with the wig and with the makeup, she could not believe it. I looked really like an Apache.
Okay, that was good casting.
Yeah.
Yeah, good casting. Good eye for the ones who are casting you.
Yes, absolutely.
That's wonderful. Very funny. Indeed, you have done so many different things.
I did many things in my life, As I said, from sports to dance to politics to social life to science. And I was always hungry for knowledge. Always.
Ah, yes.
In fact, in the dance, I was not satisfied being only a dancer. I want to know everything about dance history, about choreography, how to choreograph, about the ethics of dance. Everything you can imagine about dance, I had to buy books, read books, and use any opportunity to learn anything about dance.
Yes, and that shows in the way you teach. It shows.
Yeah, it's you can say it's an artistic, scientific way.
Yeah, I miss studying with you, by the way. I really miss it. Now we have a beautiful Nubian attire here.
Yeah.
Where was this? Was this in Germany already?
This was in Germany. In '86, I founded my own group, the Hatur Dance Troupe, in Berlin. And these were German girls dancing Egyptian. And they did very well. We did a lot of folkloric dances. We did a lot of belly dancing or raksharki, and a lot of also, operettes.
Uh-huh.
And
How was training German women and bringing them into the universe of Egyptian dance? Because they're very different universes. I mean, Germany is as European, as Western as you get. It doesn't get more European and more Western than that. And then we have Raksesharki, which is magical, it's sensual, it's intuitive, it's soulful, it's hard, it's so many things that Germans, and I would argue Westerners, are not used to deal with. How was it to teach German women not only to dance, but to perform, right? Because your company, Hator, you were performing.
Yeah.
How was that process? Was it easy?
Yeah. I tell you something for history. Belly dancing were introduced to Europe through American and not through Egyptians.
Allah, tell me more.
Yeah. And the American disposes of officers or soldiers of the American army who practiced belly dancing in America started to teach in Europe. So the first one who taught in Europe was an American, in Italy was an American, in France was an American.
Okay.
I was the first Egyptian in '86 to teach Egyptian dance in Europe and in America. And then later, I brought many Egyptians. And later, of course, now there are many Egyptians around the world. But this is the real history that everybody should know.
But how was introducing your culture? Because when you teach Egyptian dance, you're teaching Egyptian culture as well. It is not an isolated art form. It's an art form that comes along with a history, with a mentality, with a specific sensibility, specific tempo. Yani the ka of the Egyptians is very different from the tempo of Westerners. Everything happens faster in the West. People are more mechanical. Everything is a little bit drier. So how was it to bring your Egyptian dance and the Egyptian culture behind it to German women?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, at the beginning, when I started the group, I started with American women who already did belly dancing.
Okay.
And then German joined, and it started that many Germans loved this dance. And, it's like a wave. It became, like very popular. Was fascinating because German by nature do not accept any foreign things. But this belly dancing was in every village in Germany. There was a school for belly dance. I could not believe it. And then, of course, it went all over Europe and everywhere in Europe, also in your country, in Portugal, many schools and many teachers. And this is, I think, women realize the benefit of this dance, not only to become professional dancers, also just to practice it for fun, for the good health, for psychological effect of it, to live in harmony with your soul and your body. So it's a very healthy dance. And of course, with music. So people got very, very fascinated about this dance, and they are still fascinated about it. And I think it will grow and grow. When I see nowadays China, Japan, and I taught in all these countries, Australia, it's unbelievable. People from all social level, professors, lady professors at the university, they do belly dancing. Simple women or simple girls, they do belly dancing. So it gives them something very important and make them happy.
Yeah, it is a happy place. It is
Yeah.
a happy place, as you know. And I think it provides a kind of experience of pleasure, of release, of freedom, of tarab that no other kind of dance provides. It's very
Yeah.
specific, very specific. And you know, I, like yourself, I grew up studying many different dance styles. I did not start with Egyptian dance. I started with classical ballet, and then I went all the way into different dance styles. And I love different dance styles. I am not only one direction at all. But no dance style that I know of provides the kind of experience and transcendence and heart reconnection and sensual pleasure that Egyptian dance provides. Hands down, it's the queen, it's the king. And I'm not saying this because it's my life. I'm saying this because it's really what I believe in. It's what I've seen. So it is amazing how it has spread throughout the world. And as you said, you know, you can see it in China, you can see it in Japan, it's everywhere. And I agree with you. It's only going to keep growing, in my opinion, because we need it more than ever. For all sorts of reasons, we need it more than ever. Now, here you are teaching where?
This was in USA.
In USA. Okay.
As a matter of fact, I started also the first Egyptian to teach in America, and this was the first festival for on belly dancing was in San Francisco in '84. Before Egyptian or anybody else thought of organizing festival. This was the first festival at all, and it was called Miss America of the belly dance, organized by the Mrs. The late Magania Baptista in San Francisco.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and I was the main teacher, me and Bobby Farah.
Yes. I heard so much about Bobby Farah.
Yeah.
I heard a lot.
Yeah, he was number one in America. He's American of Lebanese origin, and he was devoted to the dance. And he made many dances in the US.
Beautiful. And here you are at the 50th anniversary of the Reda Troupe in 2008. Is this in Alexandria?
No, this was at the Balloon Theater in Cairo.
Okay. And then you and Mahmoud in 1959, the same image we have seen before. Let me pick your brain a little bit more about what have you learned from Mahmoud in those beginnings of the Reda Troupe, when he asked you if you wanted to come along and train with him and the troupe. What was it that you learned of the most importance in that specific time with Mahmoud?
I think for me it was very important is to enjoy the dance, but also I learned how Mahmoud do choreographies. And I think this was me very fascinating. And probably it's also in me that I'm very much interested in choreography. And later I choreographed myself many dances.
Yes. You know that I started choreographing because of Mahmoud? Not surprisingly, because when I started studying with them, I mean, privately, and then working with them, I was already under contract in Cairo. And I was improvising because, as you well know, in Cairo, we perform every night. So, and I changed the program every night or almost every night. It was humanly impossible to choreograph a new program every night and rehearse the musicians. So I always told him, Mahmoud, choreography makes no sense for me because I cannot use it in my work. I'm changing all the time. I'm improvising. The musicians also don't like to repeat. They like to change. They like variety. There are the same Egyptian families coming to watch me every week. I don't want them to watch the same program, so forget about it. And I'm not good at it. I told him, I don't like choreography and I don't think I'm good at it. He told me, Khalas, ba, do it for me, just for fun. You don't need to use it. So I started choreographing for him, to show him. He would record, he would come, he would watch, I would send him away, he would come again. And little by little, I fell in love with choreography. I love it. I would never think I would say this in my life, but he made me love choreography. And of course, as you were mentioning, his choreographing method, the way he choreographed was so specific. And by watching him choreograph and choreographing with him while I was working with him, I learned so much about dance, so much. He was, at least in my experience, a mind opener for me. You know, he was really a mind opener and someone who gave me the confidence that I did not have as a choreographer. I did not have that confidence in me. And he gave me that. He was indeed very, very, very special. I try not to speak too much about Mahmoud, otherwise I will start crying and it will be a disaster. So what about here? You are with Mahmoud as well? Where?
Let me tell you this. I always say, if you have a dance talent, you're lucky. If you have a dance talent and a teaching talent, you're very lucky. If you have a dance talent, a teaching talent, and a choreographing talent, you are blessed.
Allah. Well, I don't know if I'm blessed, but I certainly fell in love with choreography and started using it. But that was because of him. I would not have done it if it wasn't for him. And of course, all the confidence he gave me by not only guiding me, but brainstorming with me, having the discipline and the work ethics that he had. You know, for me, that was very inspiring because I saw him coming into his studio every day. At 8 a.m., I would come half asleep, of course, and join him. He was already working in the studio. Sometimes he was not satisfied with the choreography for the day, and he would tell me, Malesh ba, tomorrow, bukra, we will make it better. And I thought, really? Okay, that's how it goes. Yeah. We are workers. We are professional dancers. It's not supposed to be brilliant in one shot. You can always go back to it, improve it, change it, eliminate, start all over again. He taught me so much, you know. I mean, it's impossible to put into words. Just watching him do it was life-changing, absolutely. And here, where are you? And Mahmoud?
Yeah, this also was at the 2008, at the 50 years anniversary.
Beautiful. Now, let us go back to your specific trajectory from the Reda Troupe into someone that you became. So you became Dr. Mo. You were not known, and you're not known as the Reda Troupe dancer, which is, by the way, very honorable title, but you became your own person, which is something that I contended with Mahmoud, by the way. And I'm very comfortable talking about this because I had talked about this with him openly. We were very, very comfortable with each other and we could speak our mind. And of course, the first time I was invited to teach abroad and perform outside of Egypt, I was asked to teach Reda style. And I said no. I told the organizer, it was for Argentina, a big festival. I said, Mr. Mahmoud is here. Who better than Mahmoud Reda to teach Reda style? Take him while he's here. I have time. I have time. Yani, why should I go teach Reda style if you have Reda here? Take him. Mahmoud was very hurt with me. He asked me, why didn't you take this opportunity? It's not smart, point number one. Point number two, you know my style very well. You've been learning with me all these years. Why not? I told him, Mahmoud, because I want to become my own person. I owe you everything. And so much of what I'm becoming, it's because of you, but I am Joana. I am not Reda something. I am Joana. So when I look at your career, I have the impression of someone who acknowledges the origins. You know exactly where you started, but you became your own person. You became your own name. Geddawi lives independently of the Reda Troupe. So that transition interests me. How was it to move from Mahmoud Reda method, Ali Reda, Farida Fahmi, all that beautiful genius nucleus of the Reda Troupe into what became Geddawi? How was that transition?
Yeah, it's a process. It's a process. You learn more, especially when you travel also, when you work with other groups, and you start to learn more things. You start to get more engaged. It's a matter of time until you develop your own style, your own way of teaching. But to reach this, you have to learn a lot. So also Mahmoud Reda was not born a choreographer.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, he worked a lot, well into his 80s.
I know.
And when I see dancers telling me, oh, but do I have to practice that much? Do I need to work that much? I say, okay, you love dance or you don't love dance? Because if you love dance, you love to dance. And that is not 5 minutes. It's working on it, right? I saw Mahmoud in his 80s.
Joana, it's a process. If you have a good eye for this and you see the first choreography that Mahmoud Reda did and the choreography he did 10 years later, you will see the big difference. So it's a process for only people who are really interested and they work hard on it, they can get further.
Of course. You have to do it. You have to work on it, right? I mean, it's also not a question of thinking about it. Oh, I'm thinking about a new style. I'm thinking about a new choreography. Do it. Do it. Because it's through the experience that you improve.
But also, it's not enough to do it. You must study, learn the basics of choreography, the tools for choreography, how to choreograph. You must learn all this.
What makes a great choreographer in Raqs al-Sharqi? Khalas, let's go straight to the point. What makes an exceptional choreographer in this specific skill? I'm not talking about classical ballet or Latin dances or Argentinian tango or anywhere else and anything else. I'm talking about Egyptian dance, which is very specific. The music is very specific. The texture, the makamat, the rhythms, everything is so unique. What makes an exceptional choreographer?
There's also a big difference between when you do a group choreography or you do individual choreography individual. To do choreographer individual, you must study this person very well. You must study their capability because as a choreographer, you can hide their weaknesses and emphasize their strengths. It's a process, and a good choreographer will know how to do that.
And a good performer.
What's a good performer?
Yani, what makes an exceptional performer in your perspective?
Exceptional performer, it's a combination of many things. Good choreography, sensuality in Oriental dance, costume, makeup, lighting, communication with audience. So they're a combination of many, many things. And you can find some dancers, they do fantastic choreography. But they think that choreography is only steps and movement. Is wrong. A good choreographer must take care of the lighting, the costume, everything that this dancer will have to do this choreography.
Yes, it's many details, many dimensions.
Yeah, but unfortunately, many understand choreography only steps and movements.
Yeah, and they don't understand the difference between a good choreography and a good performance, because you can have a good choreography and not a good performance. In a performance, you have to connect. You have to create an impact, a connection between you and the audience. And that's different from just having a good choreography, right? It's different.
Yeah, but this is rock shark. Without this, there's no rock shark.
Without the connection, you mean?
Yeah, without the connection.
Okay. We must create the empathy.
Even if you are on a stage, there must be some sort of connection with the audience, because listen to this. You must also define who are the audience who go to Oriental dance. People different from people who will go to see classical ballet. The Oriental dance, they don't want to think. They come to relax. If the dancer does not give them this, it's a failure. You must make them dance with you. And in fact, they do.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way of putting it. Now, you mentioned many times the sensuality of Egyptian dance. What do you mean? What do you mean? Can you define sensuality in your terms? What is the sensuality of Egyptian dance?
It's the opposite of sexuality.
Aha. Okay. Clarify. Can you expand? I know it's not easy to put into words, but
you're sensual. First, you are a lady. You are a female. We should not forget this. Yeah, if a dancer wants to be like a man, this is no Oriental dance anymore. So part of the Oriental dance is this female sensuality, and it should be there.
You mean softness, fluidity, feeling, heart.
Yeah, femininity.
Okay.
Without exaggerating, of course.
I like the way you put it. Sensuality is the opposite of sexuality. I'm not sure how people are going to listen to that and understand that, but I think I understand what you mean. Now, let's go into teaching specifically. I asked you what makes an exceptional choreographer, what makes an exceptional performer, and now I'm going to ask you what makes an exceptional teacher.
Yeah.
Because these are different areas
Absolutely.
of expertise.
Absolutely. Teacher, you are a teacher if you have a method of teaching, and if you can explain it practically and verbally. If you cannot do this, you're not a teacher.
And in a simple, understandable way.
Yeah.
Right? That people understand.
Yeah, in fact, we don't have many teachers. Because standing in front of the students and do something and they follow, this is not teaching at all.
I agree 100%. Yes, I say that so many times, and I think that sometimes people misunderstand me because standing in front of a group and showing them a choreography,
I also
it's not teaching; it's something else.
Sometimes I feel very sad with teachers who I know they are good teachers, but they cannot explain it verbally because they don't have the language. But it's very important in teaching to explain this verbally.
Yes, absolutely. Now, we're going to go into the ones that inspired you the most. You have met everyone who is anyone in this field, from Samia Gamal to Mahmoud Reda, all the big legends of Egyptian dance. When we met, I don't know if you remember, Ahlan wa Sahlan was happening at one of the many times we met. Suher Zaki was there. Madame Nagwa Fouad was there. I mean, big names. Is there someone who has inspired you in some way,
Absolutely.
man or woman?
Absolutely.
Can you pinpoint one of them? I believe different, but
Yeah, two. Tahia Karioka, definitely. Um, because her dancing was very simple, but she was very charismatic, and she did what we call it the ladies' dance. She did not use the big movements, the aerial movements, but she impressed very much her audience, and that's why she got also the title of Queen of Oriental Dance. The other one that fascinated me also is Suher Zaki. Very sweet lady. And I remember when she did her first workshop at Ahlan wa Sahlan, and I was very lucky to do the moderation for her since she did not know English. And what I experienced, all those girls, a couple of hundred girls, they were, through these 2 hours, all of them, they were crying out of, happiness.
I was there.
I am.
I was one of those girls.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember it as if it was yesterday. I remember you moderating it, and I remember her very well and studying with her. It changed me completely.
Yeah.
Completely.
I mentioned these two dancers because their dancing is not sophisticated. And this is the real Oriental dance. I have nothing against modifying, against going into some other ways, like do theatrical, Oriental, or tribal, you name it. But this is, for me, was the real Raksharki. Simple, and this is also the simplicity make the audience understand and live it. If you do something dancers sometimes amazes me. They think if they do very difficult movements, the audience will be happy. It's absolutely wrong. And I always say, I experienced this many times. I say, when you do a nice movement, you have to repeat it because the audience identify themselves with it. If you do a difficult one, you must repeat it immediately that they can understand it. And I found that many dancers, they are against repetition. They think if they repeat, this is very naive, very naive.
There are a lot of misconceptions around Raqs al-Sharqi. One of them is we cannot repeat. Another one is we cannot stop. If I pause as a performer, people will lose interest. I cannot stop. So let me keep moving like a machine. Yeah. I say, just breathe. You can stop, you can pause. No, but if I pause, I stop dance and then people will lose interest. I say, who told you that a pause is not part of the dance? If silence is part of the music, the pause is part of the dance. Allah, who told you this? There are a lot of weird misconceptions.
Dancers must learn how to breathe.
Right? Absolutely.
If the dancer breathes wrong, the audience will breathe wrong and they wouldn't like it.
100. Oh my God. I'm so happy that you said that. I am so happy that you said that. Absolutely.
When I teach movements, I teach breathing technique, I teach energy distribution, because the dancers should know where's the point of energy when they dance. And, this is why I say, to be a good dancer, you must understand the dance.
And it's hard to understand. It's hard because we don't have a lot of references, you know. Everything is so chaotic these days. And my point is pretty similar to yours. I'm not against anything, really. I mean, and also I've been doing this for long enough to accept life is life and trends will come and variations will come, and you know, you cannot stop people from doing whatever they want. I mean, be happy and enjoy whatever you're doing. But when I go back to those references, one of them is Suher Zeki for sure. And I think of the reference she left in me, right? Because I remember when I saw her dancing, I understood what is Raqs Sharki. I really understood it. It was like a window opening, and I said, Allah, هو ده. خلاص أنا فاهمة دلوقتي، أنا عارفة إيه الرقص الشرقي. I understand now. I understand. Finally, okay, I get it. But those references are not around anymore. So what you're telling us, what you're sharing with us is gold. I can only wish people listen attentively to what you just said, because I know it's gold. I know exactly what you mean. And I can only hope that people understand it and they start to apply it. If only they start breathing a little bit more. Yes. And if only they start distinguishing the difference between quality and quantity, which is another big misconception, that if I do more complicated, if I add more information, more tricks, I will be more impressive.
Yeah, but
No.
I would not blame the dancers. I would blame more the teachers.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. But I really, really love what you mentioned about Suher Zeki, about Tahia Karioka. Something caught my attention, which is you mentioned two things that I find particularly important. One is the charisma. When we talk about Raqs Sharki, and I have had this conversation with different dancers, there is this idea that charisma is not important. If you're a dancer, you're a dancer. Yani, whatever that means. For me, from my observation, charisma is very important. It's part of the dance. It's part of the aura, part of the magnetism. It's very important. What is, in your perspective, the role of charisma in Raqs Sharki? Is it important? Is it not? You already mentioned that Tahia Karioka had it. Khalas, but you mentioned the real Raqs Sharki, not sophisticated. And by sophisticated, I believe you mean not a lot of Western elements, traveling steps, a lot of technique as we know it nowadays. Much simpler, much more Raqs al-Baladi, yani, the way Egyptian women do, you know, not the professionals. But what about the charisma? What do you mean by charisma? And is it important or not?
It is important, and you can. I'm not sure about that, but there are people who has got charisma. Even if you sit with them and talk to them, they have charisma. The definition of charisma is very difficult, but at the same time, you can, you know, there is something honesty in it. You don't want to cheat the audience. You want to give them the best you have. So combination of many things, and make them feel this, that you're for them. You want to give them all this. You want to make them happy.
The way I usually see charisma goes very much in the direction of knowing yourself and bringing your energy to the dance, non-apologetically, confidently.
Yeah.
Yani, part of the individuality, you know?
Yeah, you're right, of course, that charisma has to do with energy, definitely. Yeah, and if you keep your energy for yourself, it's not charismatic. You have to give. So
Yes.
giving is very important.
So maybe charisma has to do with generosity?
Possible.
Maybe. ممكن.
Maybe.
How was it living between Egypt and Germany?
Yeah. I was born in a very disciplined family in Egypt. This is why Germany was not very foreign for me.
Okay, got it.
And I love Egypt. I love Egyptian dance. I love Egyptian food. I love my friends in Egypt, my family. I like in Germany also friends. I like in Germany the discipline. I like in Germany that I can travel easily within Europe. So there are many benefits. Listen, I lived in many places, and I loved every place I lived in.
You're adaptable.
Yeah, very adaptable. I loved Lebanon. I love Turkey. I love France, England, Germany, America, you name it.
Allah.
Japan.
Allah. From Egyptian food, what is it that you like the most?
Mulukhaya, of course.
Yes, salam, أنا كمان. Me too. ملوخية. Oh my God. Oh my God, ملوخية. I miss ملوخية. ومحشي.
Yeah, you know that mulukhaya is very famous in Japan? Yeah,
Really?
it's called auch Egyptian mulukhaya. Japanese
لا,
like
in
it.
Japan.
Yeah. I was very surprised there.
How come ملوخية became known in Japan?
I don't
إيه
know.
ده?
And it is called Egyptian mulukhaya.
Allah, that's funny. Okay, I miss ملوخية. I miss my mahshi so much. بسبوسة بالقشطة. I shouldn't because it's so fattening, but oh, it's so good. Oh my God. What is it that you miss about Egypt when you're not there?
Yeah, usually mostly friends and dance.
Okay. And what is it that you miss about Germany when you are in Egypt?
Yeah, but I would say more like traveling around. Easier to go to Italy, to Switzerland. Yeah.
You have a little bit of the good in each country all the
Yes,
time.
absolutely.
Yeah, like a buffet.
Yeah.
Like a buffet. Very good. What makes Rakse Sharki so irresistible to people all over the world? So we touched a little bit on this subject when we mentioned, and I agreed with you, it's all over the place, right? I mean, it has spread. It has contaminated in the best possible way all corners of the world. But what is it that you think makes it so irresistible to other cultures? Is there one specific thing, or is it a group of things that we mentioned already, actually?
Group of things, but there are a couple of very specific things. First, it gives the women this freedom. You know, why women dress well, put makeup? Why?
You're asking me why?
Yeah.
To feel good about themselves, to like what they see in the mirror.
But also to show it.
Okay. Yeah,
Definitely.
that's part of it. Yeah, of course. Yes.
To get recognition. And the dance, Oriental dance, does exactly the same.
Okay.
You expose yourself. You show people how beautiful you are.
How beautiful? I mean, you mean visual beauty or any other kind of beauty?
No. It's a combination. Beauty is a combination of many things: your personality, your shape, your movement, your dress, everything.
And you think that's the reason why it is so?
Absolutely. This is one very good reason. The second reason, of course, it's a kind of nice sport with music. You know, like it's better than many yoga or I don't know, whatever, gymnastic, etc. And it also, I think this is one very important thing. It's a sort of in meditation. If you really love the dance and you do it, you go inside yourself. You're happy. In Germany, as a matter of fact, we use it to treat old people with Alzheimer. Yeah, and the medical insurance will pay this. It's very useful. I saw in Korea old men, men 80 and 90 years old, dressed like a belly dancer and dance to improve their way of thinking. And
That's amazing.
it's
I mean, no,
very,
I'm
very
not
useful.
surprised. I'm not surprised. It's good for Alzheimer, for people with Alzheimer, and that's not my surprise. I'm surprised the government is supporting that. That's my surprise.
Also for disabled children. Fantastic.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So, what are the main benefits of this dance?
Yeah. Health benefits, of course, physical. This harmony, your body harmony with your soul, feeling good. Also, show the other something, taking active part in life. Yeah, there are, and the best thing, of course, is feeling good. You stand and do a shimmy, and here it is,
And you mentioned something very beautiful that got me thinking,
Absolutely.
which is this meditative quality of the dance. Because most dancers just do it, they don't analyze it, they're not aware of it. They just do it. And they go through processes without noticing. So it's an unconscious thing. They don't analyze it enough.
You're absolutely right. I mean, when we think of the many famous dancers who never really learned how to dance, but through observation, and they were born dancers. They have this, they are very lucky, very lucky.
Also, and I speak about the generation of Suherzeki or Nago Fouad. There was no concept of pedagogy applied to Raqs al-Sharqi. إيه pedagogy da. We just dance, you dance. What do you mean? Explaining a step or having a method to choreograph, that is all relatively new because that was not the way dance was passed on from generation to generation in Egypt, as you well know. So these big stars, by the way, they did not teach. They danced in front of you and you followed them.
They cannot teach. They only can stand in front of you and do something and you have to follow.
Yeah, exactly. We are advancing. We are advancing in many ways. I think one of the good things that have happened in the last decades in this field, it's some things have been lost in my observation, and some things have been gained. I think there's a little bit of both, good and bad. One of the good things is the creation of a pedagogy, of a method. You find more teachers actually teaching than before. People are choreographing better than in other times. There is a little bit more of a standard quality expectation. We expect more. We expect more from a performer, from a teacher, from a choreographer. There are expectations of professionalism that were not there before. Now, from your observation, has something been lost in these last years or not? How do you see the current belly dance scene, as people usually call it, belly dance scene in Egypt and around the world? How do you see it? Are you hopeful? Are you optimistic? Do you like what you see?
No, I'm always hopeful. Oriental dance is very old as human beings. And it went through bad time and good time and always survived. So I have no problem. The world's changing. The world is becoming fast. Also, rock shark he was in many times was used. You know, like in the 18th century, even prostitutes sometimes they claim they are belly dancers.
Yes.
So it is, and it is still used until now. But this is the duty of people who are honest and love this dance to do something. And I think people should cooperate for the benefit of this dance. We did like we did in Italy. We could get recognition by the government that this is an art like classical ballet, like any other art. And dancers in Italy now, they are members of this syndicate and they can get a pension when they retire. So I think this should be done everywhere. The second thing, I think the duty of teachers now and dancers, of course, that to do a nomenclature, give names for the movements that we all accept. And there are many things to be done. But again, the problem, because this dance is very individual, so that's why also the dancers are very individual, and it's very, very hard to get them together as a group to do something together.
Yes, also because sometimes individual goes into egotistic.
Yeah.
Individual sometimes slips into egotistic, which is, we can all be individual and still cooperate.
Yeah.
You see, but the problem is there is individuality, but there is no cooperation because there is so much competition. And you know this better than I do. It's a very competitive. I'm not speaking about everyone, of course. There are collaborative professionals in the field, but the majority kind of turns their backs upon each other and compete with each other and would gladly fight each other more easily than collaborate. And that hurts the dance.
Yeah.
It hurts the evolution because, as you said, for instance, creating the nomenclature, the names for the vocabulary, that seems like a very simple thing. It's not simple. It establishes a vocabulary, a system, a language.
Simple, but if you do it, if you give names for the movement, explanatory names, this can be translated in any language. It's no problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There is a lot to do. What would be the number one thing that we can all do to dignify Oriental dance, in your opinion? If you could only name one thing, what can we all do to elevate and to bring Oriental dance to the place where I believe it should be, as an art form, a respected art form, just like any other dance style?
Yeah. Where's to the Oriental dancer to behave?
Ba-boom!
And some, as we see nowadays, some they dance almost naked.
Okay, for the record, you said that. I didn't say it because I don't want people to kill me. Because when I say that, people want to kill me.
You want to perform a dance or you want to perform a striptease? You must decide yourself. I have nothing against striptease, but give it the right name. Don't say this is typical Oriental dance as it's danced in Egypt. Or give your dance the right name. This is all what I ask people to do. Don't do a fantasy dance and say this is Oriental dance. Give it the right name. What's wrong with that?
Wallahi wahashtini. Ya Ustaz Geddawi. You don't know. So nice to hear that. And I did not say it. It wasn't me, guys. Don't kill me. Because when I say something like this, people hate me to their guts. And I don't mean anything bad with it. It's just like you, I think that, okay, you want to do a striptease, you want to go for pole dancing, you want to go for it, have fun. I have nothing against it, but just don't call it Egyptian dance. because then you will be dragging everyone who actually does Egyptian dance with you. And it creates even more confusion in the audience head. It creates even more prejudice, more taboos, more chaos. And we want to have the art presented as it really is. Absolutely. Oh my God. How perfect is this?
Tell you one thing. If you are an artist, you do what people want or what you want.
Of course. Oh, but this is a long decision. This is a long discussion, you know. When I prepare dancers to become professionals, since I opened my school, I have programs for that. That question always shows up. What should I do? What they want or what I want? Right? I mean, what? And the first thing I tell dancers is, look, what do you think the audiences want? When they think about belly dance, what do they expect? Do they expect something incredible, elevated, superior? They don't. They expect a girl with a nice body shaking her booty. That's honestly what they expect. Is this what you're going to give them? Is this what you're going to give them? You are the artist.
I am not.
You should give them better.
I'm not sure if, of course, if you dance in a cabaret, people expect to see more striptease than dance. But if you dance on the theater somewhere, people want to see dance.
Yeah, and it's still, yeah, doctor. I speak with a lot of people and I observe a lot. I have a good eye. I observe a lot. And what I have noticed is that the expectations are very low. And when a dancer says, I'm going to do what people want me to do, that's a recipe for disaster because, of course, you have to find a middle term, Yani. If you work for other people, you are serving your audience. This is true for teaching, it is true for performance, but you have to meet in the middle, Yani, what they want and what you want to present. Otherwise,
let me tell you one question if you can answer it.
Go ahead.
All the big famous dancers, did they do what they want or what the audience wants?
What they wanted.
Tahia, Karioka, think Samia Gamal, they did what they want. Did they do any cheap thing? No. But they became famous and acceptable.
You have to have the courage to follow your heart, to know the art in depth, know exactly what you're doing and bringing it and elevating it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, for me, when people say, oh, but I need the money, I must do this because the owner of the place wants this. This is, you know, you're selling your art.
And somehow they're not trusting their instinct as well, you know, because when I signed my first contract in Cairo, I'm going to tell you this story. I think you're going to enjoy it. I saw at the home of a lady, okay, it was not a professional show. I saw the Beledi Awadi. She and a couple of friends, they did a Beledi Awadi. Of course, I had no idea what the hell is a Beledi Awadi. I asked what went on here. So they explained it to me, right? So I go to my musicians. I was very inexperienced, very ignorant, just a beginner. I said, يا جماعة أنا عايزة بلدي أودي. They say, يا جوجو بلدي أودي ده بلدي قوي. No, you want people to see you like a star. زي نجمة بقى. This is very bad for your reputation. I say, I don't care about my reputation. Don't worry about my reputation. My reputation is my good name, my good work. I don't mind if they see me as a Baladi woman. أنا بلدي. What is the problem? I am proudly بنت البلد. What is the problem? إيه المشكلة بقى? So against their advice, I did the Baladi Awadi. Do you believe that during the more than 10 years I was performing in Cairo, it was the number one thing people asked me to do. Yeah. And I did not do it because they asked me. I did it because I felt I had to do it.
Yes.
I felt that Baladi, Raqs al-Baladi can be beautiful. Right. It can be art. I don't care how others see it. They don't consider it fancy, sophisticated. La Allah, I did what was in my heart. And I told them, look, if it goes down, if it is a mistake, I will pay for the mistake. No problem. But we are going to do it. I am paying you guys, because of course, as you know, the dancer pays the musician. So You're going to do what I tell you to do. Yani, we are going to do Baladi Awadi. Khalas, end of conversation. It became the number one thing in my show. And I did it because I felt I had to do it. Not because someone told me this is what people want, this is not what people want. Nobody was doing Baladi Awadi professionally in Cairo at that time. Nobody. Precisely because it's associated with Baladi people, yani, lower social class. But yani, what is the problem? There is no shame. No shame in that.
I don't know of any artist in the world who did what people want. He did what he wants. Whether he is an actor, whether he's a dancer, whether he's a choreographer, whether he's a painter, writer, whatever.
100%. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my God. What an amazing ride, Dr. Mo. We are going to close as usual with ping pong. Okay. It's going to be a fast question and answer. And then a few recommendations. And then we always close the episode with allowing my guests to ask me anything they want, any curiosity, personal, professional, whatever you want. So let's go for the ping pong. I don't want you to think too much. So it's a quick association exercise. I tell you, I ask you about your favorite something, and you tell me what pops into your mind, okay, without giving it too much thought. Are you ready?
Ready.
Yalla. Favorite word?
Peace.
Favorite feeling?
Honesty. Positive.
Favorite food?
Italian.
Really? What? Pizza?
No pizza. I love delicate Italian food. I love it.
Okay. Favorite music?
Egyptian music, in fact.
Give me one name.
The typical, like songs of Kulthum, for example, I love very much.
What is that one song that always touches your heart by Kulthum?
أنت عمري.
It's a portal. It's a portal. You go somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Favorite place?
Favorite place? You wouldn't believe it, but it's Lebanon.
Why Lebanon?
I love Lebanon. It's a beautiful place.
Okay. One wish for yourself.
Yeah, I wish to continue serving the dance. I wish I can communicate all my knowledge to others.
One wish for the world.
Again, peace.
Now, recommendations. Books that you recommend. And they can be related to Egyptian dance or not, as you wish. Books that you really love and you usually recommend.
So I wrote this down. I must look because so one book I like very much called The Creative Habit. This is Creative Habit, Learn It and Use It for Life by Twyla Tharp.
I know that book, yeah. I know it, I have it.
The choreographer. This is very interesting book about to sustain creativity.
Yes.
Another book concerning Egyptian dance, I would also recommend the Irena Lexová, Ancient Egyptian Dance. This is a Russian ballerina, her father Egyptologist, and she wants to do her doctorate degree. So the dissertation, her father recommends that she does this on ancient Egyptian dance. She went to Egypt, spent 5 years collecting all possible illustration of dance from the temples, and she said this is a very good dissertation on ancient Egyptian.
Yes, I have that book too. Any more books?
No, this is the two now.
The two that you selected. Music that you recommend?
Music.
Mm.
This is too many music. There are a lot.
I know, right? Okay, so I'm going to make it easier for you. Let's suppose that we have new students coming into the universe of Egyptian dance, and how do you educate their ears? Where do they start? What would you recommend that they start listening?
Saidi dance, Saidi music.
Saidi music. Interesting. Why Saidi? Why start with Saidi?
Because it's very rhythmic and it's easy to capture the move on it. Very easy for the ear.
Yeah, it's very catchy.
Yeah.
It's very catchy. Movie that you recommend? Movie or documentary? Something.
Yeah. There is a movie, an old movie called Steps Through Time. It's 3 acts showing evolution of Oriental dance with Egyptian folkloric dances.
I don't know that one.
It's very old.
Is that available online? Okay, I will search.
Yeah, you can.
I will search for it. Okay, any Egyptian movie that you particularly like?
Oh, Shabab Emraa of Tahia Karioka.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah. One word that uplifts your soul.
Yeah, peace again.
Peace again. ماشي. شكرا.
Peace with yourself, peace with others, peace for the world.
Well, you are a diplomatic. You were always a master of diplomacy anyway, so peace suits you very well. I think that makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Now ask me anything you want before we close the episode. You may be curious about anything.
Okay, I have a question for you. Being a dancer and dance teacher of Oriental dance, what does Egyptian dance means to you and how it affected your life?
And you are going to make me cry.
No, I don't. This is not my intention.
Because it's very personal.
You said I can ask you any question.
Yes, fair enough. Mazboot. Okay. So we go back to breathing so that I don't break down and cry. Okay. First of all, I never thought Oriental dance would become my life. Let's start there. I was dragged into it. And once I fell in love with it, I was so deep into it that I had no other option. I was supposed to be an actress. When I met you, probably you don't remember this because I don't even know if I shared it with you. I had finished the Conservatoire of Acting, theater and cinema. So I was supposed to be doing theater and cinema. I was not supposed to be doing Egyptian dance at all. But I discovered Egyptian dance and I felt I had found myself and I had found my life purpose. This is me. This is what I felt. This is me. Yeah. And not only this is me, it's so beautiful that I have to show it to other people. The best image that I can bring is finding a treasure ark when you're not expecting. You open the treasure ark and you go, oh my God, I gotta show it to people. So you run into the village and you say, guys, look at this beauty. Look, oh my God. Do you see what I see? That sums up what Egyptian dance is to me. It has shown me how strong I could be. It has given me confidence. It has reconnected me with my heart. It has shown me that soul is as vivid as the body. It has opened the door to new worlds, new history, new way of life, new way of feeling, of thinking, of breathing. It's my life.
Great.
and it's hard to put it into words. It's very hard.
I know.
Yeah, it's so hard to put into words. But I know you know what I mean.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my God, thank you so much, Dr. Mo. I am sure everyone loved this episode. I am going to share the information about your social media, how people can find you in the show notes. I'm also going to share the recommendations that you just shared with us, the movie and the music and the books. And I am going to invite everyone to comment on the episode, like the episode, share it. And I can only wish that you teach and dance and share your knowledge and your heart for many more years. Yeah, Dr. Mo, inshallah, we're going to see you dancing and spreading all that love for many more years to come. Thank you so much for being here.
It was a pleasure.
For me too, and I miss talking to you. I missed seeing you, and I miss this injection of inspiration that you always give me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.